it's MK, and I am back with Pineapple Papers and the Gang for Off the Board, and today I'm going to use this pin for inspiration. Now, clearly, I am not going to use hearts, you guys. So I picked out this Sage cardstock from Close to My Heart. It is double-sided, and then I also took this leaf paper, and I actually took my scissors and cut it up, so I have a whole bunch of, it's not leaves, you guys, I apologize, feathers. Now I have a whole bunch of feathers. I also pulled this ledger paper from, I believe it was called, I don't know, it's a Heidi Swapp, the outdoor one. Oh my god, I totally forgot what it was. And then I also have my sunset photos. Now this is sunset, these were photos taken from my husband's hunting trips. So I decided to keep it a little peaceful. I also die cut some feathers from these Jane Davenport dies. Now I do have to say that I had to run them through twice to get a full cut on them. They are very, very intricate. I also pulled out 3 different sprays that I would like to splatter my background with. Now I got this idea from the feather paper. The feather paper I think was pink paisley. I don't know. It's a number, you guys. I don't know. 13, 10, somewhere in there. It came in my Not Just for Boys kit club. So anyways, and then I also pulled out, I know I let it slip and now I'm talking about it later, but I also pulled out some of those scraps from a few days ago's layout. That was just some wood grain. I also am going to pull out some Distress Oxides that the colors closely match the leaves. They're not leaves. Oh my goodness. They are feathers. And they're splattered with all sorts of goodness on top, you guys. I really like them a lot. So anyways, I am working on a photo mat, and what I'm doing is I cut it a little bit bigger. So I cut it like a 1/4 of an inch all the way around bigger than my photos. And now I'm going to gut out the inside and flip it over so I can take full advantage of that double-sided cardstock. So now I just need to figure out how big that piece is that I just cut down so I can cut my photos just a hair smaller. And I don't really want the inner bits. I mean, I do, but I don't really want it to show like a big deal. And then I got this idea as I was cutting, because at first I thought, oh, I'll just put washi and I'll put the paper back together. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, let's see if I can't take the edges and distress them and give them a little bit and then put this kind of like a grayish back behind it. So that way, in between both distressed edges of the photo mat and the frame, I will get this grayish. Well, I didn't really have a whole lot of wiggle room to work with for the photo mat, and the frame is so skinny as it is that I felt like I was gonna rip it. So I was really, really delicate when as delicate as I can be when I was distressing the inside of the frame. And so my idea kind of sort of doesn't work, you guys, but it was out there. Maybe I'll try it later with a bigger piece of paper. But what I was thinking is in between the 2 distressed edges, I could see a little bit of that grayish paper. And in some spots I can, but not that big of a deal to even mention it, but I did. So anyways, on the example or my inspiration pin, there's a headboard that has 2 posts going up and then a slat going across. And I thought I was going to mimic it on my layout. And then I thought, well, I don't really have enough room because of what I want to do with my feathers. And so I didn't call them leaves this time. Woohoo! So anyways, so just like the in the photo, I'm going to put my photos flush with the bottom of my layout. Now, normally I don't do this. Normally it's, off to the side, at an angle. I never put them flush to the edge unless I'm working on a 2-page layout. So this was quite different, but I took it from my pin, right? The bed is down at the bottom of the photo, and so I thought, well, my photos will be at the bottom of my layout. And then instead of hanging hearts, I'm going to have hanging feathers. Now, what this is my my husband is on a hunting trip, and they are out hunting geese. And so he is sitting in a blind, and all of those geese looking like things out there are decoys trying to pull the geese in. And so what I'm picturing is when they actually like get the geese, and they string them all up so that way they can get them, transported easier. And so that's kind of sort of where my brain was going, but instead of, stringing up geese, I'm stringing up feathers. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it a little bit not on the morbid side. Hunting photos are a personal preference, I think. I do enjoy cataloging them. Just because of the fact that he comes home with so many stories and things like that. Why would he want to take a picture of this when he's freezing his bum off in the blind at, I think it was like 4:30 a.m. And so, I don't know. I just, it's something that I wanted to document for him more than it was for the family, because it's very rare that he chooses to go on hunting trips like this. Normally it's just, in our backyard, he goes and gets a deer and we're good to go, right? But this one was all the way in South Dakota, and he was gone for 6 days, and it just, for one, it seemed like forever. And for two, it was kind of sort of on the, on the spur of the moment side. So it's just, hey, my buddies are going to go do this and they need X amount of people to fill a cabin. Can I go? And it's like, well, why not? You never do anything. You always let me go everywhere, but you never do anything. So yes, please go. And he took loads and loads of pictures. Some of them they're not like YouTube visible, just because of, the respect of what people want to see type thing. But I will be documenting it, and mostly it will be like the photos will be hidden and things like that. So anyways, so I just put 2 strings down, and I let the natural curl off the roll or spool happen. So I didn't pull it snug. I just left it all curly and twirly, even though you really can't see it once I get all these feathers on. But if you look at the layout close enough, some of the string sticks up, some of it sticks around a feather. It's just all over the place, and I really like it. I really like how these feathers basically what I envisioned is what happened, and it very rarely happens like that. And I was very excited to see this layout come to life, even though it's, there's not a whole lot to do. I just strung up some feathers, you guys, honestly. And then I'm going to use one of these larger die cut feathers for like a base for my title to rest on, just so it kind of looks like the title is part of the layout. And I'm going to spell out sunrise in the blind, even though it just looks like sunrise blind when I'm just working with one alpha set. But I do have tile alphas off to the side that I will be pulling out here pretty soon. And I thought that I was going to have to do, I wasn't really sure how big these alphas were, so I thought I was going to have to do a 2-liner, but when I actually got it across my layout or across my photos, it fit perfect. And then the tile alphas that I picked out actually fit in between the gap perfectly too, like I meant to do that, which I did not, you guys. It was a spur of the moment, hey, this works, let's do it. So I still want to use this wood grain, and I feel like I have this huge gap at the top of my photo. Could I have put journaling there? Of course I could have, but do I have that much to say? Of course not. I never do. My journaling pretty much consists of, hey, this is, such and such South Dakota, and it's, freezing cold in the morning, but let's take a picture of the sunrise and share with my wife, because that would be kind of cool. So I decided to take these wood slats and put them all the way up from the photo mat all the way to the top of my page. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to fill the gap, and that is something that I was going to do. I feel like this is going to help fill the gap. So right off the bat, I accidentally cut my wood grain the wrong size, but that's okay. They're just scraps. And then I distressed them so that way the edges were a little bit more defined because they all seemed to like blend in together. And I was too lazy to pull out my inks, by the way, even though I'm doing an ink class. I'm too lazy to pull out my inks. Oh my. So I'm going to trim off the leftovers of the wood grain, and I absolutely love it. But the wood grain looks like it needs rivets. So I went and I pulled out these little, they're just like little sticky metal, I don't know, square things. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure they have a proper name, but now it looks like I've actually nailed my boards to my layout. I know, technical, but I really like how that looks. So here are the close-ups. Thanks for hanging around with me while I babble on and on and on about nothing at all, especially not the layout. And take a look at how well the splatters actually look next to the splattered feathers. I thought that just was perfect, and how everything blended in together like it was like I splattered after, but really I splattered before. I thought that was pretty cool. Here you can see all of the leaves, or all of that twine going around the leaves. And anyways, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along. Some of us are playing along every day. Some of us are playing along when we can. And some of us are playing along on a weekly basis. All right, I will check y'all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.